Hello friends, in this video I will be telling you my strategy which I followed while I was pursuing the ACCA Diploma IFRS exam. The strategy which I followed which helped me score 85 marks in this exam. The first and foremost thing is when you enroll for ACCA, the first thing is what's the study material which you need to consult. In our case, it was this study material of by BPP, ACCA Diploma IFRS BPP material, the material provided by BPP. I think every ACCA student does purchase these books only. So it comes with this study material, study text, and also with this comes this practice and revision kit. So this is the study material which from which I was studying. So the first important thing is with respect to the study material. So in my case, it was BPP study material. Second thing is while you need to start from this material only, or maybe the notes which may be provided by your faculty. In my case, what I did is I made my separate notes while I was reading this book. I can show you my diary. Just suppose I try to make notes on each IFRS. So this is a very important thing, and the very first thing you need to do while going through the study text, all you need to do is to make your notes on each IFRS, because it will not be possible for you to read this book again. It is a book of around 600 pages. You will not be able to read it again. So the first and foremost thing is that you need to make your short notes, which you will be revising time and again. So the first important thing is that make your own notes while going through the study material. Then once you are done with this study material, you have to go to this practice and revision kit. What they have done in this revision kit, they have mentioned questions on each IFRS. You can see the questions on revenue. You can see the questions on tangible non-current assets on all the IFRS, which are there in this study material also. In that sequence only, they have mentioned the questions. Basically, these questions are mostly the past exam questions, which they have just tried to keep in the IFRS wise. Suppose in IFRS first, the IFRS on the revenue, so they had jotted down the questions which have come in different exams and pertain to revenue. That's how they have made these questions. So after you have finished the study material, then you have to go to the practice revision kit and try to answer it. And for this, I will suggest you need not to go directly to the Excel or the soft Word. Try to write it in your diary also, rough paper only to get the comfort. Once you go through this go through this practice revision kit, I will suggest you need to revise it at least thrice. In my case, it was twice, but I suggest if you are able to revise it thrice, then you will be able to understand how you need to write the answers. Because I had told this thing in the last exam also, that ACCA Diploma IFRS exam is little bit different than how we give other exams. Like a CA student, how we write the approach which we follow in CA is totally different than the approach we need to follow in the ACCA exam. Here in this case, except for the question on the consolidation, all other questions we need to give explanations also. And believe me, the marking of explanations is more than the marking of the numerical figures which you mentioned in the answer. Suppose if you are able to identify the correct value of the lease payments, fair value of the asset, or some other things, you are able to identify the correct figure of the revenue that needs to book, but you are not able to justify the answer, you are not able to provide the explanation of the answer, you will not be getting the full mark. So it's very important to understand how you need to write the answer, and that will come only if you go through this practice related and at least thrice. This is second important thing which you need to do. Third thing is with respect to the consolidation question, which I would like to mention here. In the consolidation question, what I find is that how faculties try to approach the question, they will give their ready-made formats. Format number, working note number 1. In the consolidation, working note number, calculation of goodwill. Working note number, calculation of total asset. Working note 3, calculation of this. Working note 4, calculation of this. And they try to cram it. Suppose if this is a transaction, it will go in working note this and working note. I find that useless. What I did and which I found something which really helped me was that the approach I followed on the consolidation was I tried to solve the consolidation questions on my rough paper rather than directly coming to the Excel. Because what's more important is that you need to understand the logics behind it. You need to practice consolidation so much that you are able to understand the logics, how it flows, this, if you are able to calculate the goodwill correctly, where will its impact go, then how will the assets of the subsidiary being transferred to, divided between the minority interest and parent. All these things you will be able to do only when you are able to do it conceptually, and for that I will suggest you do it on rough rather than going directly on the Excel. So what I did, I tried to solve all the questions of consolidation which are there in the practice revision kit on rough paper first. Once I was able to finish all the questions, finish any of the consolidation in around 25 minutes, 30 minutes on rough, then I switched to the Excel. So first and foremost thing is, please do practice the questions on rough, whether it is consolidation, especially consolidation, but for other questions also, you need not to go to the word directly. You can write it on the rough to get the flow how you need to write the answer, because the formatting, all the things can be taken care later on. But first thing is, you need to understand them conceptually and write the answers on rough so that you are able to understand how the flow which you need to make sure that that's there in the question. And then compare the answer with the practice revision kit, whether to check that if you are missing something, that you will be able to, once you start writing the questions, do not just try to go through the answer, but write the answer first and then compare it with the suggested answer. It will help you in understanding the points which you skip. For example, in my case, it was like while doing the questions of the leases, I used to forget this thing, that the value of the financial lease will be this much amount, and out of this, the non-current liability is this much amount, current liability is this much amount. But it does carry a weightage. So while going through the suggested answer, I realized, okay, I'm missing thing. What I did, in the same diary, I had kept either what you can do, either keep some page blank after each IFRS, or once you are done with the IFRS, you make this chapter as important points in all the IFRS. While doing the practice revision kit, if you feel okay, you are missing this, you can write it down by writing the answer of the leases. Make sure that you write give the bifurcation of the non-current liability and the current liability. So this is important thing which you can mention in the diary. Do not try to trust your memory, because the syllabus is huge. It may very much happen that you forget it at the end. So try to write it in the diary. So before you go for the next revision, you go through those notes already, the notes as well as the important points. That's another thing which you need to keep in mention. And fourth thing is, what I did in my case was, I had downloaded the past 10 years papers. I went through all these past 10-year papers. Again, in my case, it was perhaps twice. Some questions I did twice, some questions I did just once. I went through those to get an idea. Like question number 1 is fixed, that it will be only consolidation. Question number 2 mostly revenue and some other things. Question number 4 you will be like small questions, 4 queries like that. You'll be getting an idea कि कौन सा question कहाँ से आता है, and you'll be able to get an idea. But if you believe me, it will not be taking you much time, because most of the questions are there in the practice revision kit. When you go to the question paper wise, you will get an idea how the questions come. But that's already mentioned here, so it will not take you much time to go through these past year papers. If you are not able to do the of 10 years, at least try to do of last 7 years, that is around 14 to 15 papers, and try to solve few of them in the CV software. Firstly, try to solve them at rough, and the last few years you can then shift to CV software. Then the last important thing is, after 10 years, then it may happen, suppose your exam is in December, till October, mid-October, try to go through the study material, the practice revision in a past paper, and then in the last month what you're doing is to try the questions solving on the CBE software. Especially the CBE software is available in the ACCA website. You can give it unlimited time, free of cost. You need not pay for it, and it's very important also to do it in the software. But the problem with the students is they do it in the first instance. No, you have to do it once you are well aware about the conceptual clarity, and then you have to practice it also many times, so that you get an idea how much space you need to keep for different workings which you may have to do, especially in the consolidation question. You have to write the particulars, and you have to write the working note number, reference of how your calculation, and then the final amount. While practicing through that, I will be coming up with a detailed video how to do that consolidation question. But for that, you need to practice on CBE software to get that, because there are many formulas which we use in the Excel. They are not there, like the cut, copy, paste. You're not able to insert any row, and you will realize later, okay, I have to include this row of minority interest, include this of intangible asset, which is not there in the question per se. So for that, you need to practice, and to save your time. Ultimately, that's very important, to save your time. You will be able to insert that, but it will take a lot of time. That will come only through the practice. And one of the most important things is, which I realized, which helped me, was what we say, the remembering all the IFRS by heart. For that, you need not to take separate time to remember the IFRS by heart in the first instance. While going through the study material, while going through the practice revision kit, while going through past few questions, you will be able to get an idea about all the IFRS. You will be able to remember their number. But once you are done through this after study material, try to summarize all the IFRs in just one page. You will be able to easily get it. It's easily available on the internet. All the IFRs you will be able to get in the one page. Even the study material also, it is there in the, I think in the study material also, it is given in the beginning only. Yeah, yes, you can see it. It's beginning in the study material is already mentioned all the IFRs along with the IFRS number and this the name of the IFRS. Try to go through it in the last month so that you are able to remember all these 40 IFRs by heart. What will it do? It will give you a lot of confidence. If you are able to remember IFRS by heart, what will happen when a question comes on operating segments? You will be able to recall, okay, the IFRS 108. It's on operating segments, and then you will be able to recall other things which you have. You will be having your separate notes by the time you will be when you revise it for most of for many occasions, 10-15 times you are able to go through your notes. You will be able to remember exactly the page number of your diary, whether it's on the left side or right side, and that will help you. So writing the IFRs in the exam will definitely help you score half a marks to 1 marks if you are able to mention that this is dealt by IFRS. IFRS 108 is on the operating segments and it defines this करके इतना भी लिखोगे तो एक आध मार्क्स तो उसमें से आ जाएगा. So I will suggest you remember the IFRS by heart, but not in the beginning. With the passage of time, you'll be able to remember most of them, but then jot them down in one page or it's there in the study material. Try to remember them by heart in the last. So if I summarize it, one more important thing which I will suggest regarding passbooks. Believe me, passbook is a wastage of time, wastage of money. We were being provided this passbook and the pass cards, perhaps pass cards by ACCA, this BPP. We were being pursued to purchase this ACCA. This BPP pass cards, were told that pass cards you need to remember. No, I will suggest make your own notes. You need not to go to the pass cards. Pass card is a wastage of money. उससे better है वो किसी को donate कर लो, but do not purchase pass cards. I got them luckily through one of the quizzes when I scored good and they gave me the pass card. They gave me the soft copy of the pass cards, but I found that useless. So these are the suggestions which I follow will definitely help you. I will summarize them. You need to make your own notes while going through the VCT material. After that, you need to go through the practice revision kit at least 2 to 3 times. And at that very moment, what will happen, then you will be able to come up with new points that you need to jot down in your diary. Third thing is the consolidation questions you need to do in a rough paper first. Then only you need to, do on the rough to the extent that you are able to solve all the questions on the rough, then only move to the CB software. Not do it on the Excel, because try to do it in the CB software only, so that you are able to understand what exactly, what are the limitations of the software. Like most of the problems are not working in the ACCA CB software, and try to remember the IFRS by heart. I think if you are able to follow this strategy, you will be able to easily pass this exam. And in the upcoming videos, we'll be starting this course, and God willing, much before the exam, we'll be able to complete all the questions, all the IFRS, and you will be able to get enough knowledge so that you can pass this exam. Wish you good luck.